Hi, everybody. Hi, Cinder. Norma Hernandez, ¿cómo estás? So we're going live right before Velda because I'm full of questions today. Me voy a portar como la que no sabe. Hi, Teresa Riley. Any of the haters come in here, block them. Let them make a subscription. Hi. Velda wants us to let everybody know that she's going to go live sometime around 8-ish. And she's the one with the money, not me. She says she's going to raffle off some HEB gift cards. So let's let everybody know to join Velda's show. But today, the one that says inquiring minds want to know. Okay, hi Pam Blackburn, Ginny. And since inquiring minds want to know, especially mine, I'm going to ask you all because las que saben, saben, the ones that have been here and know. And I was like, when did that happen? Hi, I see you. We're doing pretty good. As you can see, my hair is out of control. It's out of control again. It seems like I had to cut it. No wonder guys cut their hair every 2 or 3 weeks. Hi, Maria Chongos. Today is I'm gonna give everybody a headache day. Don't forget to hit likes count, especially when you're trying to get to 1,000. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm past 800. But I wanted to ask everybody that's been in the drama for a while. Does anybody remember someone from Brownsville taking a trip to Belize and doing a video and saying that she specifically went all the way over there to Belize to do witchcraft on Ophelia, my little sister? Does anybody remember that? I know I'm not the only one that remembers. You don't remember it, Teresa Riley? Oh, so she went to Cuba for that? I thought she had gone to Belize. But she took a trip and it was out of the United States to put some witchcraft on Ophelia, my sister. Thank you. You know, I wouldn't mind leaving this length up here, but these sides have got to go like back down to a 2. And I already can feel it back here. Look, it's like all the way, like it looks like when you sit in the back pews of the church and you start counting light bulbs, and then you start looking at the side of the hair to see if it's past the 3 weeks, and it's like that has got to go. I don't know, but I mean, today I was seeing Velda's show and that came up. And I'm like, okay, so I decided to bug you guys for about 10 or 15 minutes right now to see if anybody remembered when somebody took a trip to specifically do witchcraft on Ophelia outside of the United States, because apparently we don't have enough witches here in the United States. I can guarantee you there's at least 3 to every 4 blocks here in Raymondville. HEB keeps 24 feet of shelving full of candles for them. So I'm not sure. Hi, Linda. I'm not sure why I got into Velda's show late, and then I heard that part, and I was like, wait a minute. Why, Linda? Is it getting on your nerves, or it's not growing fast enough? I think mine grows pretty fast. This was, I cut it last month. I went to Progresso and I cut it, and I always go to the same guys, and when they see me, they're like, man, you waited too long. It's long. And I'm like, well, it's only been like a month and a half. It's getting on your nerves. Mine's getting on my nerves. And then I just ate, Linda. And I don't know if it's because of my age, but like in 5 or 10 minutes, all the back of my head is going to start sweating and my whole body's going to start sweating because my body's digesting the food that I ate. And then I'm adding sugar to it by drinking this. But hi, Michelle Perez. I just was gonna ask you all that because I don't know when it went to somebody. Hey, Mama Testa. I don't know when it went from somebody being sick because they caused an illness by being alcoholic and drinking every freaking day instead of maybe just every other weekend. I'm not even saying every weekend. I'm saying every other weekend, or maybe pull an Angie and drink once every 2 or 3 months, but not to the point where you're asking for forgiveness at the toilet. You know, es más. Es más. Let me pull one of the gentlemen out. But how does it become a witchcraft thing? Because Christ flower, I don't know your name, but I'm sure that everybody knows that Christ died in the cross. And not only did he die on the cross, when that Roman soldier put the spear through his chest, Christ flower, the blood of the lamb fell on the covenant of the ark. That's why they can't find it, love flower. You're not gonna teach, like my little sister Ophelia says, the Pope, the Art Father. We know who Jesus Christ died for, and he died for me, so that I could become a child of God just like him. Through his blood was I adopted into the heavenly realm. But we're not here for that. We're here for being children of earth. We're here to talk about people like you that want to be criticizing and saying that because, where is it? Because I pulled out a little candle like this one. And I pulled a little blackhead remover that has an actual little nail that pokes your skin so that your blackheads can be removed properly. And wrote a name on the candle. This is a male candle, so I'm not going to write anything on it because I have it set up for somebody specific here in Raymondville. And I will use it. I don't have to go to Belize to do anything. But I wanted to ask everybody, when did someone pulling a candle, me or Anna or anybody, become somebody's illness? When did it become a person that's irrelevant to any of the platforms illness, when did that candle go specifically to that person and her illness that she brought upon herself for being an alcoholic, and not even an alcoholic like I'm going to show you today? When did it become that? No, they don't, Maria Chongos, but it makes you wonder what kind of people they are. Let's put this one to good use. Because I will tell you, I don't waste my time on beer. And just because I have bottles and bottles and bottles in my house don't mean that I'm drinking every freaking day. But I wanted to ask. Inquiring minds want to know. When does your drinking 4, 5, or 6 beers in less than an hour every freaking day turn into, oh, it was done, my illness came from witchcraft? Unless you're actually believing in witchcraft 24/7, and that's what you practice. For the Morenos, witchcraft is just something that has been part of our culture for lots of years, and it's something that's there. Either you're going to embrace it and believe in it, or you're just going to laugh it off and use it as a parody. But I'm so glad that they think their name was put on the candle, because somebody's name was put on the candle, but it wasn't hers. Because she is not somebody that's relevant to the circle of anything. That illness was brought upon herself to herself. It had nothing to do with nobody writing somebody's name on a candle. Especially not me, because if y'all remember correctly, the nails were on the head and the knees of that candle. And y'all, I'll tell you where the nails were. They were not anywhere in the stomach. They weren't anywhere in any of the vital signs that she is ill from. So this had nothing to do with her. I'm sure Anna's things that Anna does didn't have nothing to do with her. Anna's 20 or 30 candles that she did on the 31st of October for people. Palestine can free their own selves. They have 4 wives, 4.5 wives, on a war that has been over 2,000 years. Palestine can free their own selves. That's why they marry 4 wives, to have enough men to free their own selves. Don't start with me here. And I know you have to be 20. You're getting ready to go and get another subscription for me. Keep it up, buddy. Thank you, Peacocks United, for removing that person. I mean, they don't get me started with the people that can get married with 4.5 women, because they want to keep a war that's been going on for over 2,000 years. I'm here to get something in straightened out here about this. Somebody did witchcraft. It's catching up. It's finally working. No, witchcraft didn't have nothing to do with an illness that if I want to drink 2 or 3 of these in a row, that I'm going to cause on myself. But that's what I wanted to ask. I'm like, what happened there? Did I mishear? Did I hear wrong? Do they have nothing better to talk about? Because, some people can get on my nerves, and I think I have this one and maybe another one somewhere that I can locate in this house. Because I know that for 2022, we had at least 40 of these. You know, thank you, Silent Metal. What was that? Oh, that's why. Look, it's Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. That is sweet, very sweet whiskey. What is it, whiskey? Yeah, it's Tennessee whiskey, and it's very sweet. I didn't realize that it was that sweet until I went to Washington and my brother had one, and then I told him, "Hey, I have one of those at the house that my daughter got me," and I hadn't opened it until the other day. But you think that's what it is, Mama Testa? You think that they're crying that Angie's been doing too much brujeria because OM's not around and Angie doesn't have nothing better to do than to carry her $1,000 phone with her cousin Google on it. But I just wanted to let you all know that somebody went outside of the United States to put brujeria on Ophelia, and they actually said it on the World Wide Web. So, what is good for the goose is always going to be good for the gander. Lo que te puedo decir, mamá Testa, es que cuando esa vieja venga para atrás, se la van a pelar hasta atrás, la que no tiene. For berberine oikens, I'm not sure. I don't want to lie to anybody. I told you all that this year we were not having a Halloween show. We did not have a Halloween show. I didn't set up none of the Halloween things that we had prepared. Uh, all the cemetery stayed in the boxes. The witches and the musicians that we had last year stayed in the boxes. They were not taken out at all, and we said we were not gonna do a Halloween show. I think by 6 o'clock, I had all the lights off and I was in bed. And I cannot tell you yes or no to the bike drive. It's leaning more towards no, there will not be a bike drive because there's 2 weeks left for Black Friday. Remember, everybody, when we did the bike drive last year and we had almost 70 bikes, and then we were trying to locate a school that would accept the bikes. Every school that we kept calling was being called by the haters. So finally, a school was called that didn't let the haters interfere with what was going on. And they accepted the 67 or 68 bikes, however many bikes there was. And this year, they already had planned for two school districts to accept the bikes if they were going to be donated. But if Ophelia's not in the internet doing her lives or whatever she's done before to get everybody motivated to donate bikes and for us to pick them up. I mean, I have 2 pickups up here in the front. Ophelia has her pickup. So we have 3 pickups that can be picking up bikes at Walmart. But the whole point is that if these haters keep interfering, the only people that lose out are the children. This year we didn't give out candies or nothing. The lights were off. So if my porch lights were not on, the children could not even come to the door to knock because the porch lights were not on. And it's sad to say it that way, but I mean, that's how we had to pull things this year. We had 3 shows in a row because a nosotros no nos manda nadie. And this year, Ophelia decided that we were not going to have one, and we didn't. And it's because that was a decision that she made. But as far as the bikes, that's going to be a decision that she's going to make. But I had already said it's leaning towards the no, we're not going to give anybody bikes because of the bad behavior that these haters have had after the fact that they don't donate anything except their hate. They're following Ophelia around to figure out which school Ophelia will be giving the bikes to. And then they start calling that school and bothering the teachers or the people responsible at those schools and telling them about Ophelia's behavior. And it's like, what behavior? Ophelia talking loud? Ophelia mandándote a chingar tu madre? Or Ofelia que no le vale verga? Which one? Which behavior do you not like? Because all of us can talk like Ophelia talks. Not all the time, because I don't talk the way Ophelia talks all the time, but I can. That doesn't mean that I can't. It just means that I choose not to. But as far as the bikes, I'm going to say that it's leaning towards no, it's going to be the same as the Halloween um, day that we did not give out candies or anything. But there was 2 schools chosen already for this year to receive bikes because of the fact that Ophelia has not worked in over 4 or 5 months on YouTube. I'm not saying on, Ophelia doesn't work in her real life. And her YouTube money was game money or money that she was spending on stuff that she wanted to do with the peacocks. And Ophelia had said that she would donate 10 bikes, which everybody knows that 10 bikes during Black Friday is like $600, $590 plus tax. So it's not a goal that could not be achieved by Ophelia if she was still doing lives. But she hasn't been doing lives and she hasn't been having any income. And at some point in the last 5 years, Ophelia had more than 100 subscribers and supporters. And the numbers went down for whatever reason. They went down. And she doesn't have that anymore. So I'm going to say that because of a lot of different variables and different things happening, Ophelia will probably not do a bike-a-thon this year. But then again, don't take my word for it, because after all, we're fixing to figure it out in the next couple of weeks if she is going to come back full force, if she decides that we are and we will pull a bike-a-thon for the kids this year. We have 3 trucks ready to load as many bikes as all of you all want to donate. We'll load them and donate them to the school, because the schools were already picked since last year. The whole thing was that unexpected circumstances happened, and because of unexpected circumstances, the children are the ones that end up losing when there's haters that hate so much. I don't know if they're gonna need that bail money or not. Maria Chongos. Um, they do make things worse. I mean, can you imagine 67 bikes were given out last year to a small community here, and that made 67 kids smile during Christmas, because if their parents couldn't afford a bike for them, each and every one of the peacocks that got together, because we had some people that got together between two people and got one bike last year, and it didn't matter how we did it, it got done. And those kids got to smile and get a bike. And we were there when they were all at the gym and all the bikes were lined up and each person that was given a bike came and got their bike. But nonetheless, these people still were trying to call the school and disrupt the orderly fashion that these bikes were issued out. And did they give anything? No, they didn't, except headaches. Hey, I like the mamalon money. You know what I need, Mama Testa? I really need everybody on the World Wide Web to get together and figure out who I can hire as an attorney, since I cannot find an attorney in South Texas to represent me against the city of Raymondville for all the injustice that was done to me 2 years ago and all the way up until June of this year, when I was called to court and I showed up, and the district attorney's lawyer, Mrs. Regalado, or Miss Regalado, I don't know if she's married or not, told me that she didn't need to talk to me in order to represent me. I want a lawyer, a real lawyer, to tell me, is this the way that the district attorney's lawyers represent people when they never even talk to them or ask them anything? I need to find a lawyer that can take this case on a pro bono, because I can't afford to pay a lawyer, and actually sue the city of Raymondville in a civil case. And I have not been able to find any. I had talked to a lawyer in. Ophelia looks at me and she's like, "You're not trying to look for one." Yes, I have. I have talked to several lawyers. I've talked to one in Brownsville, and at the time last year when I talked to him, Mr. Joel Flores, who is a lawyer, helped me to locate this lawyer in Brownsville. But when I called his office, he had and was representing two murder cases, and he was very busy and overwhelmed with his busyness, and he couldn't help me. So, I mean, it's been hard for me to try to locate a lawyer. But if any of you all know one, please feel free to send me a text. I will talk to the person. We have the proof where I was seriously um, done wrong by the city, by the police department, by the district attorney, by the judge. And I need a lawyer to represent me. But it's not easy to get a lawyer that will represent me with. Yes, no, they keep telling me that I have to go out of South Texas, Mama Testa. And that's why it's hard. Because it's hard to get a lawyer outside of South Texas because their license still has to be able to be used in South Texas. So it's like I need a lawyer from South Texas that can, hi Billy Arguello, that can represent me here against the city of Raymondville. And it's not easy. It's not. At first I had to wait for them to sit on paperwork for 2 years because that's how they wanted it done. And once it got to the 2 years, I still had a lawyer tell me that they didn't need to talk to me in order to represent me. So it kind of sucks. I'd never thought that the judicial system worked that way. But neither does brujeria. I want you all to know that when brujeria is done, it's done for a specific thing, a specific person, and a specific time frame. If something that you asked for any warlock or witch to do for you, if it didn't get done, if you didn't see the results in 6 months from the time that you paid out the money, because nothing is free, From the time that you paid out the money to 6 months, if you don't see any action on whatever that warlock or that witch did for you, then chances are it's not going to happen. Karma, the universe, or whatever didn't let it happen for you. Okay? And this is just somebody stupid telling you that. Because I'm not a witch. But my cousin Google can inform you of a lot of things if you want to ask. Well, you see, Griselda, if he's working on getting Chapo out, then I'm in the same dilemma that I was when I talked to the guy from Brownsville. And the guy from Brownsville, Griselda, had two murder cases that he was working on. And I would love to get Rafael Cardenas Vela's lawyer. That motherfucker had it going. 5 life sentences compounded. How do you get 125 years worth of sentences to compound into one, which ended up only being 25 for all of the stuff Rafael did? He only got 25 years, and then tell me if this motherfucker ain't good. Rafael Cardenas Vela was 5 years in the detention center in the shoe. Well, my client did hard time in the shoe. Hard time in the shoe means that you get double the time. So he was there 5 years, so they reduced his 25-year sentence by 10 years. So Rafael Cardenas Vela ended up, I think, he'll end up only paying a few more years and he'll be out. Because this was during the time that I worked in the prison. So even though he was the head of the Gulf cartel, Rafael Cardenas Vela had the best set of lawyers that anybody has ever seen. And 5 life sentences were compounded, and them motherfuckers got away with 25 years. Plus, Rafael had been 5 years in the shoe, so that got compounded by 2. So he got 10 years off automatic. Tell me I can't smile about those kind of lawyers. That's when you say money talks and bullshit walks. He'll be back before his daughter ends up being 20. Before his daughter even decides to go dating and getting married, he'll be back to hold his daughter's hand and walk her down the aisle. It's like them lawyers were, I don't know, he had an awesome set of lawyers defending him. I mean, what he did and his crimes are, in my book, they're set aside. It's not my problem. But his lawyers were awesome, and they did an awesome job for him. Did I live through that era? Yes, I did. Mr. Rafael Cardenas Vela was a very nice man. When he was taken out of the shoe to go to the doctor every day, to the doctor's office, he was always walked with his hands behind his back, very respectful to everybody down the halls and stuff, and he never spoke out of turn. Hi, Alma Gomez. You know, I was there. I'm a witness to him being like that. Uh, Well, we need to find out if they can represent me, Mama Testa. I really need civil court lawyers to sit at the table with me, because it would be interesting to see how far we can go with this. It's not my employer's fault. And I do believe that because the city likes to cover up for whatever and say, and they cover up for the people and then they hide behind shit too. Because when I talked to the city manager here, I'm not going to say his name, but he knows who he is. He said, well, we can't really do anything because they were not appointed officials. They were voted in officials. So we can't do nothing. But then a week later, when I told him that I was going to sue the city of Raymondville, he changed his tune and then he said, uh, Angela, I can't talk to you anymore because the city lawyer said I couldn't talk to you because you're going to come for the city. Well, yeah, motherfucker, I'm coming for the city. Why do I want to get people that only have shit in their stomach for? What am I going to get out of their ass? If I'm gonna go after somebody, I'm gonna go after somebody that has the money and has the strings and is pulling the strings. And I don't know what happened at that city hall, but I do want to let everybody know. I went to pay my water bill last Friday and I took pictures, people, and I asked questions and they were laughing because they didn't know what to tell me because I straight up told them who got threatened in these offices that after 20 years of me coming every month to pay my damn water bill, I have now seen a coded door with a coded lock for people to go in through that hall that takes you to where you have to pay the cemetery plots and stuff. So not everybody can go past that hall now because they put a door with a coded number. And if you don't know the code, you're not going to go back there. So the city manager's office door is behind that door now. You can't just go into his office and cuss his ass out. Hi, Velda. I'm telling everybody that you're going to go live around 8-ish and for them to go join you because you're the one with the money, Velda Luna. Mama Testa, you have board of directors? Oh my goodness. That's going to be interesting. Velda sí es la mera mera. You gotta walk the talk. And, you can't. A ella no le vas a estar diciendo, hey, le vamos a hablar a tu jale. Te va a decir cómo camines por la puerta para su jale. It's like, really get a life. Todo el tiempo salen con sus mamadas. Como esta mamada de que somebody did brujería and that it's working. No, it's not working. If you cause your own illness, don't blame it on brujería, bitches. I'll be the first one to tell you that was not brujería. That was a self-made illness. Hi, Maria Guzman. Yeah, Velda's in the money, money, money. Teresa Riley, money, money, money. Show me the money. Yes, Velda, it came from too much alcohol, but I don't know how somebody said something about brujeria on your show. And that made me remember when somebody went outside of the United States to embrujar a Ofelia. And they actually had the eggs or ovaries to say it on their show. Maybe the falling out of the hair could be caused by brujeria. And not even, because if you're always stressing about not having a topic to talk about and no content to talk about, of course, you're going to get constipated and blow up, or you're going to start losing your hair. Am I right or wrong, Velda? I don't know how to do anything, Velda, but I can ask Google. He can walk me through the motions. Well, I think everybody wants to know where that is, Velda, but they're not going to tell us. If you know how to follow directions, any of you can go to Google, who is a World Wide Web dictionary, and put Hechicería Mexicana on there. And He will pull all kinds of potions for you, so don't even go there with me. Follow directions. You know how to do one out of baking soda? Hey, I used to see them at in the prison, and with the ivory soap that they were given, they would make the Santísima Muerte look awesome. Let me tell you. And then we would have to be going through the cajones, opening up their cajones every day. We had to open up 6 cajones from all the females that we had. We had to open 6, one in each room or one in 6 rooms, one in every room for 6 rooms. And there was like 8 rooms with 9 people in each room. So we would go in there and we'd have to open all the cajones. And I hated to see the little altars there because like they get given apples or bananas, or they were never given candies. The candies usually were stuff they would buy from the commissary. But if you would see, like, in the little corner, you would see the little statue of the Santísima Muerte, and then you would see apples around it or candies from their commissary, sometimes bananas, and you'd have to tell them, do something about the altar, or do you want me to do something about the altar? And it's like, I hated to do that, but I mean, it was part of my job. If I saw it, I had to destroy it. And not because I believe in that, but I believe that I need, as my job required, needed to respect everybody's religion. And a lot of people do follow the Santísima Muerte here in South Texas, so it's part of their religion and it's part of stuff that we respect. And without touching their stuff, they would disassemble it. It's best to respect them for whatever they do in their house. It's their problem, Griselda. And you don't have to bring anything upon yourself that you don't need. It's like, but if you're an alcoholic and you get liver cirrhosis of the liver, then you caused it because of your alcoholism. And don't blame somebody that does brujeria or you suspect of doing brujeria. Don't blame that person for doing something to you that they really didn't do. But I have had you all for 44 minutes. Thank you for allowing me into your space with my little questions about, this kind of stuff and how they can act stupid when I clearly remember it happening and remember that person saying it. But hey, if they only want the brujeria to fall on me and Ophelia, that's okay. I don't believe in it. But you all, Velda will be coming live around 8ish or 8 something. And be aware, Velda will be giving out 3 raffles of $25 gift cards for HEB. She will be helping the needy. And I'm so glad that she can do that. And as far as the bike-a-thon this year, I don't know what Ophelia is going to decide, but Ophelia, as long as you all don't take it the wrong way, if she decides that the bike-a-thon is not going to happen this year, it will only be because she has not been able to make any money in the last 4 or 5 months. And she had promised 10 bikes. And 10 bikes, for her to say, I'm going to donate 10 bikes, that's $600 plus tax. So I'm just letting you all know why it's not going to happen. If it doesn't happen, don't think that it won't happen next year. It's just right now, this year, too many of the haters butted in to the point where, hey, you're making it stressful for everybody. So I'm just letting you all know. Hi, Patty Segovia. I'm just letting you all know. Don't get mad. But Ophelia will be back. And don't forget to join Velda on her show later on tonight. And I want to thank you all for allowing me into your space, into your Tuesday night. Bye, everybody.